So the jellyfish animal spirit came through today to share a message. And I absolutely love it when the spirit animals come through with these messages, because through the spirit animals, through the metaphors, through their bodies, we can really easily understand our own true nature. And these messages that are really powerful and potent can just sink into our body really simpler and easily. It's really easy for us to understand. So the jellyfish spirit came through to deliver a message about unity, about our true nature as a unified field. Through its body, it allows us to see and reflect. It becomes like a mirror for us. So it's like a reflection to us, so we can see that reflection, that unity back at us. So if you think about the jellyfish, picture the jellyfish, and you've got the main body of the jellyfish, which is like this umbrella shape or this bell, and from the underbelly of the bell streams out all of these tentacles. So think about the umbrella shaped body of the jellyfish as the unified field, the divine God source, that field of intelligent, living, loving energy that created all of creation. So that is the umbrella, that is the bell part of the jellyfish, that is just all one body. And then underneath the belly, streaming out, is all these tentacles, and these represent the rays of light. It represents the splintering or the fractaling down of energy as God source, as the one unified field, began to splinter into these what appear to be individuated rays of light. But as we can see through the jellyfish, all of these tentacles, whilst you could, if you couldn't see the top, let's say all you could see on the jellyfish was, let's say, this amount of the jellyfish, right? So you couldn't see or how far up the tentacles went. You couldn't see that the tentacles went up and all connected and came from this umbrella, this one field. All you could see were these individuated strings of light. That's like us as humans. All we can see is these, what appear to be these individual bodies, but just like the jellyfish. So these tentacles, they go all the way up into this one unified field, so they can appear at one level of consciousness, at one level of perspective. We're only seeing a certain dimensional reality, that they are separate. But as we zoom out and we start to see the bigger picture, well, we can see, but it's not separate. It's all coming from that umbrella, one field, that one body at the top, and it's completely connected. So we can see that the jellyfish mirrors back to us our true source. That is exactly the truth of humans, because everything in nature is made in the image of God source. God source is a creator being. It creates everything in its image so that we can see it reflected back to ourselves. So that is the truth for us. We are part of this one unified field, this God body, and our energy, that energy is streamed down into these individual rays to incarnate into these individual bodies, to have an individual experience. But we're all actually connected. We're not disconnected. As you start to spiritually awaken, zoom out, you start to feel and realize that you are connected. So imagine as the jellyfish, imagine that this jellyfish has all these little tentacles hanging down, and this tentacle at this side started to try and attack a tentacle at the other side. Imagine, not only did it try and attack it, it tried to actually kill it, cut it off, harm it in some way. Now, that is like punching itself in the face, right? It's like, why would it do that? It would only do that if it believed it was separate from the other tentacle. If it didn't have a higher level of consciousness and realize, well, that is part of its body.
And if it attacks that tentacle, it's actually it's harming itself. I meant to say it's disabling itself. Wow, I couldn't get that out then. It's disabling itself, and that is how we've been living in as humanity. We've believed we are these separate beings. All the programming has been there to keep us at a low level of consciousness, keep us in this box so that we can only see the separation, so that we can't zoom out and connect in to the higher source power and realize, boy, we're all connected at source. We are all streams. We are all the tentacles that are coming out of the one source body. So with that view, with that message, the jellyfish is showing us in a very easy way for us to understand that we are all unified. You and me, we are part of the same source. We are not separate from each other. And in knowing that, it can allow us to have more compassion for ourselves and more compassion for other people as well. That's not to say that we put up with toxic behavior or anything like that, but we can hold compassion for those people that are still stuck in that separation consciousness, that lower level. It's up to us that are rising up, that are zooming out, that are seeing the true picture, that are seeing the jellyfish, that realize we are this jellyfish. We are all one in this unified field. And as more and more humans start to wake up to this truth and start to align with this level of consciousness, then that is how our world is going to change really, really quickly. That is how we are going to bring harmony and peace back to the planet, as we start to realize we are the jellyfish.